In this video, I'm going to tell you all about page templates in Wirechunk. Page templates are great because they let you create many similarly structured pages, but with different content, possibly different styling, but having a reusable structure that you can maintain in one place and update multiple pages on your site. They're also great just as a starting point for new pages where you can use a page template to have an initial design and then completely branch off and disconnect that page from the original page template. So let's dive into Wirechunk and see how to use page templates. Let's start by creating a page template. I'm going to create one named blog article. Then I'm going to edit design. And in this design, what I'm going to do is add a couple components. One is going to be a plain text component that is going to display the page title. So whenever this page template is instantiated, it'll allow us to automatically display the page title of the current page. Another plain text component is actually going to reference a prop, and we're going to configure this prop in just a moment. This prop is going to be named content. Let's save this page template. And then on that blog article page template, over on the right-hand side here, there's a popover menu that gives you an option to edit props form. Here you configure a form that is going to be used to supply props to any page that uses this page template. And you can use all the different form input components in this form. We're going to add a big text input. And for the name, we're going to say content. This is going to match the page template design that references this prop. So it's got to be spelled exactly the same with the same casing. So in our case, it's all lowercase. And the label is going to be what's displayed in the form. Let's say content. Okay, let's save the form. Now, one more thing we need to do is publish this blog article to make it available to be used, or to publish the blog article page template. Now, on pages for this website, when we go to create page, you will see blog article as an option for page template. Let's create an article named blog article, or let's just say blog A. Create. If we expand this page to view the design, we see it's displaying the page title here. Now, over on the right hand side here for the page, there's an edit props option. This blog A article has edit props appear here because it's using that page template that we created earlier named blog article. And that blog article page template has a props form. So this page now is going to have that content field that we configured on the blog article. Here, let's put something. I'm going to save that for the props. Now when I expand the blog A page to view the design, we see it's displaying the title. There's no formatting here, so everything's kind of all smudged and it shows the content. Let's actually fix that and see how page templates can be synced to pages. Let's go and edit the page template design. Actually, one more thing for being able to design page templates more effectively is when you have a props form, you get this option here in the designer for the page template to edit the preview props. And we see the form here that's configured on the page template. I'm going to put in some content, save it. And so we see this is how a page would actually appear with the props that we supplied. Let's style it just a little bit for the page title, I'm going to change it to an H1 and save. So this looks much better already. Now, I've saved the page template, but if we go look at the page, it's not going to be changed. It's going to be that initial content that it was, because saving a page template does not automatically update the pages that are linked to that page template. You may choose to not want to update those pages at all. But if you would want to update the pages, you just go back to the page templates and then sync to pages. When I click sync to pages, it tells you how many pages were updated. Now, if we go back to that blog A page, we see it's displaying the title dynamically and then the content from the props. Props forms can get much more sophisticated. You can have drop-down fields, you can have other sorts of fields that let you easily put in lots of data for a page and have many pages that look potentially very differently. Now let's get into something a little more advanced where we're going to use a props form for different styling. So let's go back to that same page template and edit the props form. And here I'm gonna use a dropdown. And this is gonna be for the title color. We need to give this input field a name. Previously, I updated the design of the page template and then configured the props form. You can do it in either order. So just remember that the props that the page template design references need to correspond to the input component names of the props form. For options, let's have red, blue, and black. And then the label, which is going to be displayed in the form, is going to be title color, a user-friendly label. Let's go ahead and save it. Now on the blog article design, let's open the H1 component styles. And then here we can configure a custom condition. So we're going to have an equals expression. So this is going to be one expression equals another expression. And when that is true, this style rule will apply. And we're going to configure 3 different style rules. So the first one is going to be, we're going to have a prop on the left named title color, I believe is what we had. In fact, let me open page templates in another tab and confirm. I'm going to open up the props form. Yeah, title color. And I'm actually going to open this so we have these options to reference. So one is going to be red. So when the title color is equal to a string literal red, I'm going to set color red here. And similarly, I'm going to have 2 more rules when we have prop title color string literal blue, color blue, and one more. All right, let's save it. Now let's play around with the preview props and confirm that the design actually is going to work. Let's set the value to red. By the way, without a prop being specified, none of those 3 conditions are satisfied. So whatever the default color is for H1 elements without any styling, that's what they are displayed in. But here we see when I edit the preview props and set title color to red, it's applying that rule that sets the color to red. Let's try blue. We see it's updated. Okay, let's save this now. And again, I'm gonna go back and sync this page template to Pages. Now this blog A, it's gonna have its props form updated with the new field. Let's select title color to be red for this page. Now when we expand that article, we see blog A is displayed in red. Let's create another page just to demonstrate how we can have different pages that have different prop values, and so they look and have different content. So this one is going to be blog B, and again, we're going to select blog article for the template. Now for this blog B, I'm going to edit the props. Content is some content for blog B, and color is going to be blue for this one. Save it. Now when we expand blog B to preview it, here it is in blue for the title and the content that we put in. And blog A again was red and its own content. So this way, I never actually clicked edit design for these pages. For blog A, it has the same structure, all the same components with the same styling that was configured on the page template, but I don't need to go into those pages and edit the page designs. I'm only editing the page template. But now suppose for blog B, I want to go in a different direction. I'm going to be syncing blog article, the page template, to Pages in the future, but blog B is going to have its own history. I'm going to be editing it manually. You could just go in and edit the design, and if you moved something around or changed anything about the design and save it. Now, when I go to page templates and sync to Pages, 2 pages in this case were unchanged because, first of all, blog A was already up to date. Blog B was manually edited. Now let's see, and so they both were not updated, but for different reasons. Let's edit the blog article design to make this a slightly better example. And I'm gonna add an icon here somewhere at the end. Doesn't really matter what it is. Doesn't matter what it is, but whatever. It's just gonna be this updated design for the page template. Now when I sync to Pages, we see one page was updated, one page was unchanged. The blog A page was updated and it now has that icon. The blog B page is not updated. Remember, we swapped the title and the content around. So blog B can now be edited, and actually when we expand it here in the table, it still shows for the template blog article, but it now shows edited fields, the design. That will not be the case for blog A. It does not display any edited fields. If we edit anything else that could come from the page template, it'll be listed here. But if we wanted to be more explicit, and before we edited the blog B design, we could just remove blog article from the template field here and hit save. This way, blog B is now completely detached from the blog article page template, and we can do whatever we want with blog B. In fact, it's going to still look the same. It has those original props that we had provided, but keep in mind that because it's no longer linked to that page template, we can't edit the props because there's no page template form, or there's no page template with a props form for us to edit the blog B props. This state would be more common when you just created a page from scratch. So normally when you're just creating a page, like if you created blog B without having selected a page template, it wouldn't have a props form in the first place. So this is just something to be aware of. You would clear out the template field only if you really want a page to be its own thing. But in general, if different pages are using the same page template, you don't want to edit the design of those pages. You just have the ability for the rare cases that you need that. And in the page template, you can have conditional logic components, you can provide props, you can format props, you can do a lot of powerful programmatic things without writing any code, so that you can have different pages based on the page template doing very different things. Those are all the main ideas related to page templates. I hope you use page templates more. They're very powerful for building a scalable website and being able to update many pages easily. So definitely try page templates out, use props forms, and use props within the designs heavily to help you save time. Thanks for watching.